Robotic affirmations are probably the most ineffective way and most exhausting method to try to go about manifesting something. If you've heard other YouTubers praise this idea of robotic affirmations, maybe you suddenly got excited about the idea of just needing to say words on a loop without any emotion all day long and suddenly beating your subconscious into submission. But the big problem with this is that you're basically trying to go about manifesting something using force. And as we know, force never works. The only way to truly manifest your best life ever is through ease and flow. Now, I am Veronica, and I am so happy you're here with me today. Have you enrolled in my free 10-day Manifesting Miracles course? If not, the link to it is below. The link to my personalized mentorship is also below, dreamlifebyveronica.com. Let me personally help you manifest. Let's do this. Subscribe to get all of the tips, tricks, and hacks you need to live your best life ever. I release free content daily. The theory behind robotic affirmations is that the more often you say these things, and the more affirmations you do, the faster your subconscious will finally get it and will, in fact, agree to the new beliefs. But in doing this, all you are really accomplishing is suppressing the parts of you that are not in agreement, basically the lack beliefs, and you are causing them to actually get stronger. You're adding fuel to them. For example, if you keep repeating 1,000 times a day that you are the most lovable person in the world and that you are already married, there will actually be a part of you underneath that will feel rejected, like a victim, all of the hurt, all of the disappointments of the failed relationships in the past. And that part of you is going to grow in passion and in fire by affirming how wonderful you are and how you are loved and how your husband is already here when you're really just single. You may drown out that voice of negativity for the moments that you're saying these affirmations, but the second you stop, this voice will in fact reappear and will come back even stronger because it was being suppressed and held back. And as we know, when you resist something, it only persists and grows in power. So, by repeating these affirmations 1,000 times a day, 10,000 times a day, 1,000,000 times a day, you aren't going to suddenly wake up one day and have things be completely changed. These lack beliefs aren't going to suddenly dissipate because you've said more affirmations. It is only going to create more resistance within you, make you feel worse about yourself, create a sense of lack, because you're going to feel dumb for the fact that things aren't changing, and you're going to think you will need to say more affirmations, and that will only continue to make you feel more exhausted and make you absolutely hate the idea of manifesting. And if you read comments on these videos, you see people saying that this is working for them. You are doing these robotic affirmations and it's not working for you. You may think, well, I didn't say enough affirmations. I didn't do good enough. Clearly, they got out all of the negativity by saying more affirmations, and I am in fact failing even more. So you're going to feel even worse about yourself. You're going to have an even worse self-concept because you're going to be beating yourself down, comparing yourself to these comments, which may or may not be real. We will really never know. If someone comments that they had success, in my opinion, they were actually doing some other process that worked for them. It wasn't actually repeating these words a gazillion times a day that did the trick. Basically, the big problem with this is that if you continue to stay in this loop where you're feeling bad about yourself because you're thinking you're not saying it enough, you're not saying it for long enough, you're actually having other people say, well, you didn't persist hard enough, your mental health will literally be at stake at this point because you will be damaging yourself, suppressing the parts of you that are really just needing to be nurtured and healed. So instead of healing the broken parts of yourself, you're really just damaging them further by trying to beat them down with these positive ideas that will never actually heal what is broken because you're trying to heal something that's broken by using a sledgehammer and you're breaking it even further. So you're doing no good in the process. Again, you're not going to wake up one day and suddenly feel amazing and be on board with all of these new amazing ideas because you said 3 million affirmations. Now, I know many people will object to everything I said, and they will tell me I have limiting beliefs about this idea of robotic affirmations. But ask yourself, does this logically sound like something that would in fact work? Are people who are successful in love, wealthy, living in wonderful houses, having amazing jobs, are they saying 3 million affirmations a day? Or are they simply existing in this free flowing state of knowing that they are worth these things? Ask yourself that right now. I'll give you a moment to think. Really compare. So, if this idea of saying robotic affirmations was this quick fix, couldn't anyone literally just say 10 million affirmations a day and change their destiny? But no, this is not working. And I know it's not working because I get emails from people on a daily basis who are damaged, who are broken, who are hurting, that this has not worked for. And they feel really bad, as if they are a failure, as if they're doing something wrong. And they feel so bad about themselves, even worse than before they started to try to manifest something. These are lovely people who are kind, who are sweet, who are so vulnerable. And this is why I'm making this video, because I want to stand up for these people who are being beaten down, who are being told that they're wrong, who are being told they didn't say enough affirmations and this is why their life isn't changing, because it's not true. None of that is true. And if anyone has told you that, I am so sorry that happened to you because it wasn't fair. It wasn't what you needed to hear. It was horrible advice. My heart goes out to you if you are in a situation like that because you deserved better. I want to open your eyes to the fact that robotic affirmations should basically be banished, and anyone who is touting this should really be ashamed of themselves for harming the mental health of vulnerable people. Now, I'm not saying that affirmations do not have value, but when you neglect your self-concept, your limiting beliefs, and you try to drown them out with force, you're going to neglect that part of you that's screaming inside and is begging to be heard and to be healed. You will just create a war inside of yourself that is full of a ton of chaos. We manifest things through feelings. Again, those successful people, they've manifested it through feelings. Feeling is the secret. The feeling of being successful is a feeling of being relaxed. The feeling of being in love is a feeling of relief, a feeling of contentment, relaxation, ease. You will feel none of this when you're trying to robotically affirm and bash that part of yourself that is just crying out for help. Never try to manifest by creating war inside of yourself. The only way to heal these limiting beliefs is to listen to them. Let them be heard. Let them express themselves. If you have been trying so hard to keep negativity out of your mind and get on board with these positive affirmations, you probably have not allowed these limiting beliefs to just voice what they have to say. Now, if they voice what they have to say, that does not mean that you need to get on board with what they're saying. But if you need to hear what they have to say, you need to shine the light on that scary monster so it can lose its grip from you. It will no longer be clutching onto you. It will only clutch onto you if you attempt to suppress it and drown it out with a gazillion positive affirmations. You need to allow these limiting beliefs to rise to the surface, to unravel. Then you calmly try to understand where they came from. Try to identify the first time you felt this way in your life. Was it an adult that told you this? Maybe a teacher, maybe a parent, maybe an older sibling, maybe someone, maybe one of your peers told you this. Try to identify all of the instances that this showed up in your life, in your young life. And only then you can begin to understand that these limiting beliefs were never true. They were just something that you continued to believe because you saw an example of it early on in your life and you just continued to put your faith in it, even though it never needed to have faith in it. Gently challenge the validity of them. Let them be heard. Let them rise to the surface. When you face your limiting beliefs, you can then let them no longer feel scary, because they won't be the elephant in the room that you're trying to cover up. They will, in fact, be just a belief that no longer has to be a part of your self-concept, of the makeup of who you are, of your life story. So awareness is the first step. Recognize and acknowledge the presence of these limiting beliefs within you. Don't pretend like they're not there or they don't exist. They do exist. And they have a hold on your subconscious right now. And the only way they're going to float away is becoming aware of how they have shaped your thoughts, actions, and self-perception throughout the years. Do some healing work. Notice them, recognize them, validate them, then understand they no longer serve you. Gently challenge them. Question the validity and the truth of your limiting beliefs. Examine the evidence and consider alternative perspectives from a very non emotional place. They only have power when you let your emotions get wrapped up in them. You're going to gently challenge the assumptions that underlie them. Then you're going to practice a lot of self compassion. Cultivate kindness towards yourself as you gently notice, confront, and understand your limiting beliefs and where they came from. Understand that they were formed as a means of self protection or adaptation. They were not formed as a means of keeping you down in life or making your life miserable. They were formed as a protective measure, and it doesn't have to serve you any longer. It no longer has to be a part of your story. You're going to dig deep, explore the origins and the underlying reasons for these limiting beliefs. Reflect on past experiences, conditioning, or influences that may have contributed to their formation. Then you're going to allow yourself to fully experience and express the emotions associated with your limiting beliefs. You can journal, talk to a friend, engage in creative outlets that can help release and process these emotions. Reframe and rewrite your limiting beliefs in the most easy way possible into statements that feel more empowering. Not flipping them around, not using force to drown out the bad ones, but gently using self talk that is nurturing, that can reflect your true potential and worth. You're going to seek support. Reach out to a therapist, a coach, supportive community. Join my Facebook group. When you work with professionals or you engage in group discussions, it can help provide guidance, let you notice new insights, and have total and complete support and encouragement throughout the process. Utilize visualization and meditation to create new mental images and cultivate a sense of peace and self acceptance. Forgive yourself. Envision yourself releasing the grip of limiting beliefs and embracing new, empowering beliefs. But let those new ones come as the result of releasing the old ones. So we don't want to bash out the old ones by replacing them with brand new ones. We want to gently find a place of peace and then let those new, amazing beliefs naturally float in. Take action that allows you to feel free of the burden of these limiting beliefs. Step outside of your comfort zone, engage in new activities, new experiences that contradict the limitations you have placed upon yourself. This will help build evidence of your capabilities in life and expand your belief of what is possible. Gratitude and letting go. Practice gratitude for the lessons you've learned from these limiting beliefs. This didn't happen to just put you through despair and pain. It happened so you could grow and level up. So as you let go of attachments to these beliefs, you release them with gratitude. Thank them for the lessons they have taught you and embrace the new beliefs that align with your highest potential. So we don't hate the old limiting beliefs. We don't think that they are poisoning us. We give thanks for their purpose in our life, that we were able to transcend them, learn from them, help others, be a role model for others. There's a reason and purpose for all. Now, if you would like me to personally help you, get my mentorship at dreamlifebyveronica.com. Enroll in my free 10-day Manifesting Miracles course. The link to it is below. And subscribe to get all of the knowledge you need to live your best life ever. I am wishing you the most amazing and beautiful day. May all of your dreams come true.